today, we don't have backup systems.
Stay there. Let's talk about that. Long segment coming up with Dr. Katherine Albrecht.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Hello, I'm Alex Jones. Myself, my family, the Infowars.com team want to relay to you and your families that we are intensifying our efforts against the globalist on every front. Infowars.com is leading the fight against the technocrats. But we can't do that without your help. By getting the films, bumper stickers, and T-shirts at Infowars.com, you will wake up people in your area and support our operation as we move to the next level. We need your help to spread the word like never before. They wish to hide themselves during this tectonic battle between the forces of freedom and darkness. You are the response to the globalist technocrats and their program of global eugenics, dehumanization, and ultimate extermination. The war is here. It's an info war. The spirit of 1776 versus the mindset of 1984.
If the government is busy secretly stockpiling emergency food supplies, shouldn't you be too? In any emergency food situation, when the local grocery stores and your kitchen cabinets are empty, the first 72 hours are critical to you and your family. With the 72-hour emergency meal kit from Solutions from Science, you will be prepared for the troubled times ahead. These flavorful and filling 12 prepackaged meals come in a variety of dishes, have a 25-year shelf life, and simply require water to make them ready to eat. Are the cans of soup and extra jar of peanut butter going to see you through? The 72-hour emergency meal kit is now on sale for $39.97, a small investment for tremendous peace of mind. You can find out more about the 72-hour emergency meal kit and the sale by visiting 72survival.com. That's 72survival.com, or call 800-208-9491. That's 800-208-9491. Why face the next emergency?
It is so incredible to see what's happening in our society. To witness world government being announced, global currencies being pushed as a solution to all the world's problems. Imminent attack on Iran unless we get the word out and stop this. Total surveillance. Lampposts going up all over the country with microphones and cameras in them. This was already happening 13 years ago. It's in my film Police State 2000 I put out in 99. I have the documents from 1998. This is a criminal group that has set up a fraud. The public is living in a false reality, and they are setting up a giant DARPA-controlled grid that, known as the Internet, that is meant to absorb society, make it cashless, track everything, and then add fines and fees. That's another problem with cashless society. Oh, we'll put $5 fee on all your transactions. Now you pay to keep your money with us. Now companies make you get automatic transfer. Now you can't use that cash in that secondhand transaction. Now Homeland Security came out yesterday and said paying with cash is suspicious. And they told hotels, spy on people. Dig through your luggage. But nobody dig through the Fed's luggage, all caught bringing in narcotics. Catherine, you were getting in, and we're going to go to some calls here, but I want to kind of shut up for 10 minutes or so and give you the floor here. I want you to run through for people, because you were getting into the fact that it's being set up to where we can't operate without it, and old communication systems are going away. Like a lot of people want to continue to have pirate FM, micro FM. I think it's a great idea, as long as it doesn't interfere with the commercial spectrum. Now they're handing FM translators to all the big companies to put on mindless stuff like comedy or whatever. No local programming, no local interest, nothing that serves the community. And now the FCC's been talking about making it to where you can't pick up a reception in your new digital radio with all the cars coming out unless it's got a code authorizing it. So even if you put up, like they used against the Soviets, a pirate FM in, say, Romania, it won't even be picked up by the phone, just like they can blacklist Infowars.com or alternative media. People need to realize we're entering a time where you're not just going to be able to tune into all this. People need to appreciate it. They need to understand how important it is. They need to tell everybody now about Infowars.com, about the 27-hour transmission and the free video streams that are up there right now to create a viral spread of this information. They need to donate at Infowars Money Bomb so we can... I tell people sign up at the Infowars Insider because we've been told by our experts that email is something that even if they shut us all down with that list, I could still write articles or with compression do short audios or videos and encode that and send that out to people. So we need people to sign up there for that free newsletter. I mean, we really are mounting an assault against the globalists who've created this artificial habitat for us that they're now phasing us into. So, Katherine, you've got the floor. I want you to break down what you were getting into, the threats you see, other facets, other areas, the whole futurist system, what's driving this, what the master plan is. Then we'll go to calls.
Well, and that's what I want to get into is some of the solutions. You're talking about, sending out encrypted email, getting people onto InfoWars. These are all things that people should be doing. And, I'll send anybody who will ask me, hey, where do I get the information? I'll say, Infowars.com. I've got my websites up. There's a lot of places out there where people can go. You do an extraordinary job of being a clearinghouse for a lot of that. But let me also tell you, in terms of encryption, and when we start talking solutions, what drives me crazy is when people on our team, people who ought to know better, are sending those emails through Gmail, for example, or signing up for Google voicemail, for example, because Google is reading all those emails. And if they're using Google as their search engine, and I've told your listeners many times before, StartPage.com is the company that I recommend as an alternative to Google. Because Google is reading all of the searches that you do. So if you go in there and you search for global control grid, or you search for offshore tax havens, or you search for smart meter opposition, whatever it is you're putting in there, the fact that you typed it in, Google is using, and they are creating these incredibly detailed profiles. We know that one of the founders of Google said he wants the company to become like the mind of God. And you look at that and you say, okay, so they're scanning in all the world's books. They have become the primary means of communication in this country today, believe it or not, because that's where you go if you want to figure out, ask your question. Hey, give me a recipe for cinnamon toast, or tell me what's the latest on the power outage, or whatever it might be. People log on to Google unthinkingly. So there are some tools out there that people can use. One of them is SSL encryption. And the reason this is important, and I'm going to take a minute, and I usually don't like to get too technical on people, so I'll explain this. SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer Encryption. And what it does is it takes your communication through the Internet, which normally goes out wide open. It's like a postcard versus a sealed envelope with, a bunch of layers of duct tape on it. That's the difference. When you send an email or you log on to a website, you are essentially sending a postcard to your Internet service provider. That's your Charter, your AT&T, your Verizon, whoever's giving you your net connection is monitoring where you go. They're monitoring what you send. They have the capability of reading your email. If you are sending from or to a Gmail account, a Yahoo account, or a Hotmail account, and many of these other free email services, not only that, but you're sending a postcard that they are reading and recording. So they take all the words out of your email, they put that into your giant profile, and the only way you can protect yourself against that level of observation is through SSL encryption. Now, people may remember a couple of years ago there was something called Pretty Good Privacy, or PGP. Really hard to implement, not very popular. I tried to use it myself, and I'm a privacy person. Even I said, this is a pain. So the whole PGP privacy thing Start Page is working on an email program that will be totally private, totally encrypted, and will incorporate PGP. It's going to be called Start Mail. It's coming out probably the end of 2012. But in the meantime, Start Page, and if people don't know what that is, Alex, you know, it's the private search engine that people need to be using instead of Google, because they don't record all of the stuff you do. They don't record your IP address. They don't record your searches. They don't know your identity. They don't use tracking cookies. And I can vouch for him because I'm actually now a VP with the company after having him as a guest on the show a couple years back. So Start Page just made an announcement this week that they have switched over to complete SSL encryption. And now what that means is that when you log on to Start Page and you make a search, so let's say you look up offshore tax havens, or you look up InfoWars, or, you know, the latest story that we've got out there. I don't know, maybe those electric lights, the street lights that can listen to you. So when you search for that in Google, they know it. Or you look for Ron Paul, they know who all the supporters are. But if you go to Start Page and you search for that, what is new is now not only does Start Page not record you at startpage.com, but your ISP can't see what you're doing with Start Page. So your ISP no longer can record your searches. Now, the thing that has people a little confused, though, is if you click on a link. So let's say you go on. It's just like Google, by the way. And in fact, Start Page now returns 100% Google results totally privately. So we go to Google, we grab Google's results, we strip everything away from them, and then we reserve them to you. So when you go there, if you click on a link, now you're leaving the SSL encryption. You lose that encrypted protection unless you do one thing, and we're the only search engine that offers this. Click the word proxy. There's actually a little link under your search results for the outside third-party website. It'll say View Through Icke Proxy. Now, if you click that, so let's say you want to go to a government website. You know, I tried to go to just the National Weather Service website, and I have a whole bunch of things on my computer that alert me when they're doing stuff. And I had something saying, they're running a script on this page. They're loading cookies into my browser. I was like, get me out of here. So I went to startpage.com. I punched in National Weather Service.
And you were able to get there. Go ahead and finish up.
Well, what they do is Start Page gets the National Weather Service, loads it for me, and the National Weather Service never sees me, can't put a cookie on my browser, can't run a script, doesn't even know that I was there, and my ISP doesn't know I went to the National Weather Service because everything is now encrypted. So it's pretty much the most private way you can surf the Internet, and I'm excited.
It certainly is. Now, going back here, though, we all know that authoritarian regimes go through your mail. And people would get mad if the post office was going through their mail, which they now do. But if it's digital mail, we're just going to have an AI computer read that, scan that, put it in your algorithm. And these companies are all on record doing this. And then you learn they have a partnership with the government because you, when you sign up the terms, don't understand you're waiving your rights. Now that's given to the government. And now we see the big mega corporations basically trying to get government to just fully sign government power over to them. It is completely predatory. I want to go to some phone calls, but Katherine, I know you've been tracking this. Is it even kind of still amazing you to actually see it happening, where there's all these calls now to start censoring the alternative media? I mean, I see that as a real coming of age for the alternative media, becoming the true dominant media. But it's also scary, the perfect storm of government, major corporations, and media that are all on the hot seat, getting together now, spinning the end of the Internet as we know it, as members of Congress that have read this bill have said.
The Internet is the biggest threat that they have ever faced because for the first time in all of history, in the history of humanity, millions of people can communicate with one another instantaneously. And the government hates that. Now, they're more than happy if you want to communicate and say, oh, how much you really love their, President Obama's latest bill. But if you're going to get on there and talk